Okay, good to vach. We're in the middle of the sugya of asay dochalos asay. How did we get into this sugya? The Gemara asks the reason why, if a achas isha, if your wife's sister falls to you in yibum, the whole reason you can't do it is because of a pasuk. The pasuk says aleha, Yevamot yavai aleha, and it says by the sikach isha, you should not go ahead and take what's the pasuk? Isha lechayis lesikach litzro legalas avasa aleha bechayav. Say aleha aleha. I feel b'makom mitzvah lesikach. Even b'makom mitzvah, you shouldn't go ahead and take her. Without that pasuk, what would you say? Without the pasuk, you would say that a man would be able to miyabim his wife's sister. You need a pasuk to tell you it's asa. What's the mechanism to do that? The mechanism would be the mitzvah saseh of yivum overrides the loy saseh of achas isha. That's what you would say. Fred the Gemara, where do you know that esay dochalos saseh from? Period. And B, even if you know it, or A, you know it, how do you know it's not doicha? It's doicha one that it's the chorus. So we ascertained that the source for asay dochalos saseh is the fact that one is able to wear tzitzis made out of shatnez. It says gadilum ta'aselecha lach. You should make a dilim, and it says there's still shatnez next to each other. And even if you don't darshan smuchim b'chol Torah, you do darshan in Mishnah Torah, either because it's mufna, because it's extra, either because it's mukach, because it's out of in a different space, right? It could have been written in another place. Nonetheless, we're going to darshan smuchim, and we're going to darshan that I say is dochalos asay. So this was predicated upon the limud that the words are extra. The words of by silba shatnez, the big day climb shatnez layalach, and the silba shatnez several pishtim yachtav, that it was extra. So we're going to pick up the Gemara on Daf Hey Amid Aleph. We're going to pick up the Gemara on Daf Hey Amid Aleph, and looking for a source for what I say dochalosa say lotham the Yama, who does not darshan for the fact that it's extra by tzitzis. Teinach l'tana de Rabbi Yishmael. Very good. You have a source for asay dochalosa say again with the hey yom at the top. Very good. You have a source for asay dochalosa say according to the Manda Amar, according to Tana Rabbi Yishmael, that tzitzis is extra to darshan smuchin, and therefore what? And therefore you know asay of the mitzvah of tzitzis is doichad loisa seil silva shatnez, but the Rabbanon who do not learn beged like Rabbi Yishmael, beged by Nagoyim, that teaches me that every beged is semru pishtin, so therefore it's extra by tzitzis. He doesn't have that limud minallahu. Where do they know asay dochalos asay? And for the Gemara nafklei me roishay. Okay, now what does the pasuk say? Here's the pasuk, guys. This is speaking about a mitzvah. The seventh day, of his tyra, he should go ahead and shave all his hair. Now, when it says shave all his hair, guys, that means all your hair, all the hair on your body. Then it says es roishoy, ve'es zikanoi, ve'es gaboyach einav, his hair, his head, the hair on his head, ve'es zikanoi, and his beard, and so forth. So the question is, why do you have to tell me the word roishoy? Once you tell me that Yagaleach kol sa'aroi, I know Roishoy. That's his hair. Why do you have to tell me Roishoy? Roishoy is part of what? Of sa'aroi. So Roishoy is extra. So ma tamid loy detanya Roishoy ma tamid loyma. Loyma lefishenemar it says the issa loysa kifu pas roishchem. You're not able to go ahead, put a pat on your head, and make like a monk all the way around, cutting off the corners of your head. Shaimeyani, I would say, af mitzayra kain, I would say mitzayra, when he takes his haircut, cannot go ahead and cut off and round off his head. Tamad loyma roishoy. It's telling me no, even though there's an issur of giluach roishoy pas roishoy, mitzayra it says roishoy, cut it off. So the assay of giluach of a mitzayra is doicha the loisa say loisa kifu pas roisham. Again, now I know that the mitzvah of giluach by mitzayra, the assay is doicha the lois assay of what lois akifa pasroisham. So, because sava haitana hakafa kol aroish hakafa. This is shaila makis. whether if you cut it, is it only if you cut part of it or all of it? This Talmud said, if you cut off all the hair, you'll be over on that Issa. Okay? Now, let's see Rashi here, guys, because Rashi says something that is very, very problematic. Because Sava Haitana, first little line. The itzrich lei roishai lidchais lav delei sakifu. You need the word roishai that it says by Mitzayra to push away the lav of sakifai. The hakaf is kol roish ma'akafa, because if you cut off all your hair, it's considered rounding off your hair, even though you're not leaving the monk cut on top. You're not leaving that monk cut. You're cutting off everything. Nonetheless, that's considered what being over the isra hakafa. For lo yamrin on pas ksiv rachmana, and we don't say just the pas. Hilkach, guys, here's the problem. Hilkach, ilav the Rabbi Kra, if not for the extra of Roshai, havamina, leilikuf, I would say, don't do it. Mitzayra should leave the little monk cut on his head, his payas. Alma ashminan Kra, what is the pasuk teaching us? The asi asay that comes along the asay, asi asay comes along the asay of leisakif of Mitzayra. V'doichi loy sase and pushes off loy sase. Okay, so we're in the sugya esay dochalos sase Shimon. We're in on Heyam and Aleph. We're doing a Rashi. We're doing the first Rashi, the first white line. So now, guys, you know esay dochalos sase. Now, what's the isser of loy sakifu? What would you get if you round off the corners of your head? What would you get? Get chorus? No.
Malchus, right?
Get Malchus. Good. So what raya would you have now? You have a raya that I say dochalos I say. You'd have a raya just like tzitzis overrides what? Just like tzitzis overrides the lav of Malchus of Shatnis, so too the shaving the head of Mitzayra overrides the lav of Malchus of Lesakif Pasrashim, right? Exactly that, yes? Continues Rashi. Umehocha nafka hilkach. Itzrich aleha, you need the aleha by aches isha. Lemesa erva liyibum, ta'asa yibum, dleitema. You don't say asi ese de yibum v'doiche lav the aches isha. That you don't say the esi of yibum is doiche the lav of aches isha. Freg the Welt, guys. Why would you think that just because the Mitzayra can cut off his hair, being doiche the lav sakifu? Why would you think that a man can marry a sister-in-law? We said the asay of Yibum can't be doicha, a lois asay that carries chorus. Achais isha is chorus. How could you use Mitzayra to go ahead and learn out chorus from? The Gemara by what? By tzitzis didn't go ahead and said you could do that. The Gemara asks a kasha. Even after you learn asay dochalos asay by tzitzis, you still got a problem. You don't have a source for yibum because the lois asay of yibum b'achasisha is chorus. Yet Rashi says over here, if you would learn out lois akifu roishai, Rashi says, you guys hear lam shakasha. Rashi says, if you would learn out a Mitzayra can cut his hair off, you would know that what that yibum could go ahead and be miyab machasisha if not for the pasuk of Aleha. Why would you think that? That has it in chorus. This doesn't. You had a kasha on Rashi, guys. You had a kasha on Rashi. Okay, I have in my kasavim this source. I share it with you. Let's make it a little bigger and then I'll make it smaller. Okay, I can't have this time. This is the Minchas Chinuch and Reish and Aleph, guys. Ubezemi Yushev. Now he's discussing the issa, guys, of cutting off the hair. Now, guys, by cutting the hair, not only is the person who cuts, but the person who allows to be cut is over the issa. The makif and the nikif, they both get malchus, guys. The makif, the one cutting gets it, and the nikif, the one sitting there, gets it as well for allowing him. Good. So you have double malchus, guys. You hear? You get double malchus. The one cutting and the one being cut. Ubezem yushavli divrei Rashi b'Yevamis daf Heyam and Aleph. The roitza shas sham loichiach the asay docha los asay meiroishay gabi mitzayra the doicha akafis roish by mitzayra it's doicha akafis roish. Uberashi divrei masel kasavar misayim ulafikach. Therefore, this is the Rashi we just did. Istrich alaha, the leitema asi asay diibum, v'doichi lav da'achas isha. V'hu temua, the la'acha meskonas hashas, maksha gemara, nihid asay dochalos asay, even if you're going to say asay dochalos asay from tzitzis, mikol makoim, leisase sheyesh bakaris minolon. How do you know leisase sheyesh bakaris? And achas isha's karis. V'gam b'reisha sugya mavua minolon da'asay dochalos asay. V'oid, leisase sheyesh bakaris. We asked that kasha at the beginning. And the whole sugya is going along those lines that we're not learning a source for a lois asay of karis. We just want a regular. We're just looking for a source of asay dochalos asay. We're not saying, oh, I need a source for asay dochalos asay by karis. This isn't the source for it. We don't have a source for that. Minole Rashi Khan. Where does Rashi know this? So where does Rashi know this from? The Havamina, the Yitcha Lav Shal Achesisha, Shulai Sasa Shesh Bakaris. Halamuchach Ella Lav Greda. All we know is Lav Greda. Okay? So now we have a very, very, he powerfully asked that question. He powerfully asked that question. Ulefi Masha Kasafti Nicha, guys, is Geschmack. The Sal Gedaitoch Shal Ashas, the Yachalelef Miroisha. We're going to slug it up soon. But the Kavmin is the following: Im Kain, Kivin the Hu Lav, Ushnei Malkuyos, since it's a Lav that carries two Malchus, not one Malchus, Memela Oid Choime Mikaris. A Lav that carries two Karis, two Malchus, is Machadish the Minchas Chinuch, it's more Chom than Karis. Im Kain, Kihechid the Goli Kra, the Asay Dolchalos Asay Kizeh, since the Torah is Megala, by Mitzayra. Then an Asay of Mitzayra is doicha lois asay of lesakifu pasreisham, and the issa of lesakifu pasreisham is so powerful. It has two malchus, and two malchus is it's like in football, a knee equals 2 feet, right? A knee equals 2 feet. So malchus, two malchus is more than karis. And came and mele doicha loisasa sheish b'karis gam came, right? And but the shas is going to be doicha in a second. So it says the minchas chinuch. Using this minchas chinuch, guys, we beautifully can answer what the question in Rashi. Rashi, what's our question on Rashi? Rashi says that you be able to be paisha the shaila. How can you say asay dochalos asay even by yivam of Yevamot that the isra of Yevamot yavoy alecha will be doichavat the lav of aches isha, and therefore it says that you need Allah to tell me not. We ask the question, even if you can say asay dochalos asay by tzitzis, that's because shatness is just a regular lav. Over here, it's not a regular lav; it's a lav with karis. So Rashi suggests that if you can learn that from Rashi, if you can learn out Lesakifa Pasrasham, that is Nidcha, the place of Mad of Mitzayra, since it carries the Lesakifa was two lavim, the lav of the Makif and the lav of the Nikif, the Mela you would know what? Chorus. Yes, Maya.
That may be, but how do you know for sure that the case is talking about the two people did it? Maybe he cut his own hair off.
No, since it would be, in other words, the Pasha is like this. You don't need a Mitzias of the case. You just know that inherently that such the power of the lav meya. What's the kasha? The kasha is asay is docha regular lav, right? But it can't be docha chorus because it's too powerful. Once you've proven that the lav of mad of lesakifu is more powerful than chorus because it can to malchus, then you would know it.
Okay.
It doesn't. You don't need the mitzias dedicate. You notice inherently in the lav it exists that possibility meya. So that shows you the power of the lav. You good?
Okay.
That's because there are two people involved.
What?
It's one lav per person. It has to be
all we
two
have to look at the
people.
lav. We don't look at them. We don't look at how you do it. We just have to look at the power of the assay. If this assay is so powerful that it can overcome something that could be whatever the mitzvah is, how you do it. Whether you do it, you're doing it two at the same time, or you're doing it one person, or you're allowing another person. It doesn't make a difference. Shira, you just all you have to look is as the lav you're being over. It doesn't care dove how you're doing it dove. You just want to look at the same teretz I'm giving Meya now. Since the possibility exists, it's so powerful. That's why Rashi suggested. Again, it's a shvera Rashi. It happens to be a great teretz. It's a great teretz. Listen, I learned the Vamis the first time when I did this was probably 1978. So again, I saw it in 1978. I got to bring it down, right? Okay, anyway, so let's just remember where we're holding now. We're in the sugi of asay dochalos asay. We want to know, we say that we learn out from tzitzis, that it's next to shatnez. That's only if you have shatnez extra. If you don't have shatnez extra where you know it from, we want to suggest you know it from what? The Isra of Mitzoira, being able to go ahead and cut off all his hair. Ayis being over the Isra like Sakifu Pasroisham, rounding off his head. We don't care because the assay of Roishai is Doicha the Lois assay a wad of like Sakifu Pasroisham. So now we have a source for Esi Dochalos assay if you don't have a source from Tzitzis. Back in the Gemara. Now we're going to slug that up. Now that you understand it. 6 lines down. Ikal Mefrich, Hayam and Aleph, Ikal Mefrich, there is to ask, Malu Lav Da Kafa, Shekain Lav Shein Shava Bakol. The Lav Da Kafa is weak. You know how it's weak? It's a lav that's not equal by everybody. So good, you're going to tell me you get malchus if 2 people do it. Rashi says women are not mechuyev in this lav. There's a Mishnah in Kedushin. Women are not chayiv in the lav. A woman can go ahead and make a monk cut. So maybe therefore the assay is daicha. But stam a regular assay that is not that is shava by kol that everyone would be mechuyev in. Maybe it can't be daicha. Ela asim is zikna. We're going to learn that from Zakanai. Okay, it's the same pasuk, guys. What does the pasuk say again? The Mitzvah on the day of his cleansing, he goes and cuts off all his hair. Now the word Zakanai is extra. Once you told me he cuts off all his hair, Memela, I know his beard, correct? It says a Rosh, so I know his beard, right? So there's a pasuk. Well, you keep like it says by Kahan and Pashas Emor, they shouldn't go ahead and rip out their hair. They shouldn't take a razor and cut off their payas. They shouldn't take a razor and cut off their payas. Now that's lav dafka by a kohen, it's by everybody. So now, using those 2 concepts, 1 by the mitzvah where it's the kohen is extra, and 2 by the kohen who's also to cut off his hair, or everyone for that matter, it's a lav to cut off your hair with a razor. It says the following: Zekanoi, the Tanya Zekanoi, Matamud Loimar. Why does it say Zekanoi? Because it says, I might think a kohen mitzvah should not be able to cut off his beard. Now, so what do you have, guys? What do you have? Let's go. The assay of mitzvah is doicha the lois assay of cutting off your beard. Now, cutting off your beard is also a lav that's not shava bakol. There's no issur of cutting off for a woman. So basically, you just told me the same thing. What did you tell me? You told me the din by kohen, and you told me the din by mitzvah of what? A lav that's not equal. The loisakifu pasroisham and loigalechu. So we have a rule in Shas. If you're telling me 2 things and I don't need one of them, it must be to tell me something else. So if I don't need it to tell me a lav that's not equal to all, I will use it to teach me a lav that is equal to all. And now I would know say dochalos say by a lav that's equal to all. Okay, one more time. What are we doing over here? We have a source for say dochalos say we have tzitzis. Like the man there doesn't have tzitzis. We wanted to learn out from Roishai by what? By the Isra Leisakifu. We had a kash on that. The Leisakifu women are what? Are in the ballpark, not in the ballpark. Therefore, it can be pushed off. So now we're going to we're going to the same source. We're going to the source of what? Of Zakanai. That it says by mitzvah, cut off all your hair. If you cut off all your hair, so I would think that what? Why you have to say Zakanai? And the answer is because by kohen it says the leisavas it says by the kohen it says like yiku karchav roishim with pasukhanim leigalechu. So I would say that what the kohen mitzvah does not cut off his beard. Kamashmani cuts off his beard. A woman's not in this ballpark. Says the Gemara the following. Because I know that from Roishai, from Leisakifu. Tanu inyan l'lavsha shava b'kol, right? Use it for a lav that's shava b'kol. Use it by a lav that's equal to everybody. Use it by a lav that is equal to everybody, and therefore I would know I say dochalos say. So right now at this point in time, I would know I say dochalos say by what? By a source from Kohen Mitzayra. Ikalim Mefrich, Vakati, I still have a kasha, guys. Vakati, it's the rich. I need Kohen Mitzayra, and I can't learn how to say dochalos say. Salkat, I mean, I would have thought. Shiny Kahanim, the reason Kahanim, Hoyel Vribahina Kosef, Mitzvahs Yiseirais, Afil Lav Shein Shava B'Kol, Loidochi. I would think that what? That Kahanim, since we're machman by Kahanim, right? They're more mitzvahs than other people. I believe in Tuma v'chahena. I would think that what that but the assay is not doicha, the isra that Kain's not doicha. Kamash Malon, I need a pasuk to tell me the doicha. So therefore, I can't use the pasuk of by the kahanim of upasuk kanam lo yigalechu to teach me that what assay docha lo sasay. I need it unique by the kahanim to tell me that the Kain Mitzari does shave off his hair, because I would have thought Kain is in a different league. Kamash Malon is not in a different league, but I can't use it as a source for assay docha lo sasay. So back to the original question, loit the man the Omar that does not learn that from tzitzis. Where does he know assay docha lo sasay from? Says the Gemara, another source. Okay. Again, the same Roisha by Mitzvah. The Hachtana de Tanya, Roisha. Why does it have to say Roisha by Mitzvah? If you told me Kol Sa'arai, all the here, why do you have to tell me Roisha? Matam Alaymar. Because it says Tar lo Yava al Roisha. It says by the Nazir, Tar, a razor should not go over his head. Shemeani Ach Mitzvah Nazir came. I might think if he's a Nazir Mitzvah, also he doesn't cut off his hair. Tam Alaymar Roisha. Therefore, it tells me Roisha that if he's a Nazir Mitzvah, it cuts off his hair. So the assay of cutting off the mitzvah's hair is doicha the lois assay of a nazir cutting off his hair. So now I have a source for assay doicha los assay. The assay of mitzvah doicha the los assay of a nazir cutting off his hair. Guys, you all with me? I'm being very repetitious for that reason. Again, don't get lost in the cheshbon. Now, mikkel nifrich, I got a kasha. Malin nazir mitzvah sheken yeshna b'sheila. Can you be shoyl on your naziris? Let's say you go to a chacham. He told the chacham, listen, if I'd known that it was so hard, I never would have done it. Mutalach, right? Go ahead. So therefore, maybe it's a shvach alav. The reason why I say of mitzvah of mitzvah cutting off the hair is doicha the lav of nazir is because nazir is a shvach alav. Why is it a shvach alav? Because you can get rid of it. You can shoyl. Mashen can't a regular lav which you can't get rid of. Maybe I say is not doicha los I say. So right now we don't have a source. The loyte mahachi. If you don't say this kasha by Nazir, you got a bigger question. Guys, outside. The Gemara we're going to continue this sugya. The Gemara has a kasha. Why isn't Binyan Beis HaMikdash Doicha Shabbos? The mitzvah say of being Binyan the Beis HaMikdash, why isn't it Doicha Shabbos? So the reason given, one of the reasons given is Shabbos is a mitzvah. It's a lav, and there's an assay. In other words, there's a lav to do malacha, and there's a mitzvah assay to keep Shabbos. So an assay can be doicher a lav. It can't be doicher a lav and an assay. By a nazir, guys, there's a lav of there's a lav of lo yava al roishai, a tar lo yava al roishai. There's a lav of tar of a razor going over his head. There's also a mitzvah say of kodesh yiyah that he should be kodesh. We learned that kodesh yiyah. Remember, Stam Naziris is 30 days, guys. Yiyah is 30, right? Yiyah gradually 30. We had this Gemara. Kodesh yiyah. So therefore, if you don't slug up Naziris, and that's your source for say docha los say, you can go ahead and build even a bigger halacha. Not only is say docha los say, but an assay would be docha alos say vi assay. It would be even one up more. The assay of cutting the mitzvah's hair would be doicha in Naziris. And in Naziris, you have two din of tava lo yava roishai and kodesh yiyah. So I can say, not only is assay docha los assay, los assay is docha, an assay is docha los assay the assay. It could be docha both. The Eloi Temahachi, back in the Gemara, 4 lines in the bottom. Had the kaimalon the ain assay docha los assay the assay. That way we hold. That an assay cannot be doicha los assay v'assay ligma mi nazir. Let's learn that from nazir mitzayra, right? That it could, because the nazir mitzayra he's taking a haircut. It's be doicha what the isra of tavel yava v'ishay, and also the assay of kodesh yiyah. Elaminaz my time like aminon dikul nifrich ken yesh b'sheila hachnami ikul nifrich ken yesh b'sheila. So therefore, Ella, why don't you learn from nazir? Right? It's because what there's sheila. So the bottom line is right now. We do not have a source for assay docha los assay if you don't learn that from tzitzis. Again, let's recap. We tried to learn out from Rosh Stam Lesakifa about Rosh, we're not successful. We tried to learn out from Koyim Mitzayra, we weren't successful. We tried to learn from Nazir, we're not successful. So three strikes, and yet we're not out. 3 strikes, Gemara is not out. Gemara is Lamaylam and Teva, right? Teva's 3 strikes are out, not in Gemara. One more time. El La'olam Amid Beis. La'olam Mikra Kama. Says the top Rashi. Mikra Kama Kilayim B'tzitzis. We learn it out from Kilayim B'tzitzis. Even the Rabbanon. With the Kama Rabbanon, the Loya Yasalut Semru Pishtin, Minalahu, the Kilayim B'tzitzis Shari, the Lasi Yaseh B'dach Lasaseh, they also have it extra. Guys, how do we get into this? They didn't stop learn Beged meant Semru Pishtin Yachtav. They didn't learn Beged meant Semru Pishtin. Tanbei Yishmael had Semru Pishtin extra because it said the word Beged. It said the word Beged right by Negoyim. So this where it says Beged by Shatnez, we know it's Semru Pishtin. Therefore, he added extra. But if you don't learn that limud, then you don't have a source. So the Gemara answers, we do have a source, and it's the same source as Tanbei Yishmael. The Chachamim will have an extra word by tzitzis that al darshins what if you get tzitzis out of kalayim, what you could. So asay dochalos asay. In other words, l'maskana, it's a universal source. Asay dochal asay will be tzitzis according to Tanbei Yishmael. It'll be a source according to the Rabbanon. Either Rabbanon don't darshan beged. Let's see the Gemara. The Kama im kain lema krot tzitzis tasel lecha gedilim lam lecha. Why does that say? It just say krot tzitzis tasel lecha gedilim lamali. Tzitzis tasel, stop. The word gedilim is extra. Why do you have to write the gedilim? Says the Gemara shma milo lapnuye. It's extra. What's it extra? To say doicha smichus that asay dochalos asay. Now we're just going to question that. Says the Gemara haylish yuru hudasa. I need gedilim to tell me the amount of strings. It says again. We're going through this very quickly. This is the big sugi menachis. Says the Gemara gidol shnayim. Gidol is 2. Gedilim arba is 4. Asa gedil, make a fringe. Upaslehu misaychay, and the string hanging down from it, and that should be a total of 8. So in other words, since I need gedilim for that, it's not extra. Guys, if it's not extra, I don't have a source for say dochalos asay. Says more in Cain, lemakra, let the pasuk say, leisil b'shatnis, semru pishtin. Just say leisil b'shabbos semru pishtin, yachtav lamali. So you're right. The word gedilim is not extra. The word yachtav is extra. Since the word yachtav is extra, it's extra that I can learn what asay dochalos asay. Shma mino lapnuye to learn asay dochalos asay. Fred Gemara v'katmi boile. I need yachtav to teach me l'toichiv shtei tkifa is chibor, utkifa achas ein a chibor. Guys, in order for something to be considered, if I would have a piece of linen and a piece of midaraisa, a piece of linen and a piece of wool, and I put one stitch in, it's not shatnez. It's only you put 2 stitches in. So yachtav means to put it together. Yachtav, how do you put it together with 2 stitches? So since I need yachtav to create the garment for shatnez, it's not extra to teach me what I say dochalos asay. I say Fred the Gemara. In Cain, if that's the only thing it's teaching me, lichtav krole silbas semru pishtim yachtav shatnez lamali. So the word shatnez is extra to teach me asay dochalos asay. Shma mino lapnuye. Shma mino that shatnez is extra, and since it's extra, I learn out what that I learn out asay dochalos asay. That since it's extra to be saimich to shatnez, I learn out the mitzvah of tzitzis is dochalos asay shatnez. Fred Gemara v'katmi boile ad shehe shua tava v'nuz. The word shatnez, guys, is a contraction of 3 words: shua, smooth, tavoy, spun, v'nuz, and woven. To be over shatnez deraisa, you need to have the wool and linen have to be smooth together, spun together, and woven together. That you learn enough from the word shatnez. Fred the Gemara, how could you tell me shatnez is extra to teach me smukin that I can dash and I say dochalos asay? I need the word shatnez to explain and identify midaraisa. What exactly is kilayim b'tzitzis? It's shatnez, right? It's true to the menus. Says Fred. So now we don't have a source for say dochalos asay. Says Ashkin elakulim is shatnez nafka. Let's see this guys. The first wide line. Kulim is shatnez nafka. Midichsiv shatnez. V'loikasiv kilayim. Shaminan shua tuva v'nuz. Umidloikasiv shua tuva v'nuz. Behedya shaminan lapnuya ka'asei l'medrash smuchin. Says Tosfos, if you wanted to tell me only shuva tuva v'nuz, spell it out. Don't give me this fancy word of a nutrikin. Say Semah b'fishtin, and which way? Shua, tavu, v'nuz. The fact that it goes ahead and contracts those things together, when it could have said it more explicitly, it makes it there to teach me 2 things. One, shava tuva v'nuz, And 2, it's extra to teach me that smuchin, that you have the parsha of tzitzis next to the parsha of shatnis, and from there I learn out what I say docha lo sase. And there I learn out I say docha lo sase. Okay, guys, this is a maskana. This is a, as they say, it's done. This is a take. In other words, if I wake you up in the middle of the night, where's the source for say docha lo sase? L'kuli alma, it's from tzitzis. Say according to the Tanaberi Bishmael, who has beged by Nagoyim, that and mix and what's extra is what is the Semah Upishtin, or it's the Chachamim that the extra is Shua Tuva Venuz, the fact that it says Shatnez. Either way, the source for what Asay Dochalos Asay is what is tzitzis. Now, question: can you learn out from here Yibum? Can I learn out from here that Asay of Yibum be doicha the loisasei of achas isha, that I need Aleha to tell me no? And the answer is no. Why? Because shatnez is a malchus and achas isha is karis. So I told you we're going to have to deal with that question. Where would you think, guys? Where would you say asay dochalos asay by karis that you need the pasuk to tell me not? Again, this whole sugya is predicated on one big premise. We're starting off with one premise. When the Torah tells me Aleha by Achas Isha, that Yevamot Yavai Aleha, and it says Aleha by Achas Isha, and then it says Loi Sikach, means without that pasuk, I would have thought that a person could be Miyama, his wife's sister. Without the pasuk, that's what I would say. Mehecha Tesa, you would say that. The Gemara is ascertaining. It must be because we say Asay Dochalos Asay. However, all I have a source for say dochalos say is a regular lav of malchus. I don't have a lot for karis. So now the Gemara has to go, and what we're going to do is figure out a source for what I say dochalos say, and even though the lav is karis, that I need the Allah to tell me no. Guys, that's our mission right now. I say dochalos say by what? By karis. We're going to bring in few sources. We're going to bring in Shabbos is the source for karis. Again, Shabbos. If you don't have Edom Asra as Karis, Edom with Edom without Asra is also Karis, Edom with Asra. Okay. So now Edom without Asra is Karis. Edom without Asra is Karis. Now, so if I can prove to you that there's an assay that you can do on Shabbos, l'chori, you have a source for what? For assay dochalos assay. Can I do a meal on Shabbos? Can I bring a Korban Pesach on Shabbos? Can I bring the Korban Tamid on Shabbos? So l'chori, you have a source that all these cases that I say dochalos I say that has karis. Obviously, we're gonna have a question on each one. But in other words, you understand the mechanics of Gemara, guys. I need a source to tell me why you would say yes. That I need Allah to tell me no. When you say yibum to tell me no, it's because you'd say yes. Why would you say yes? Because there's such a musig of asay dochalos say, but yesh b'karis. So that's what we're going to do for the rest of the evening. Says the Gemara. Ashkin the asi asay v'dochalos say greda. We have a source for an asay pushing off a regular loisase. Loisase sheyesh b'karis hechi ashkachin tedachi. Where do you go ahead and find that an asay will be doicha a lav of karis? The itzrich alaha lemisrach that you the lemisra that you need alaha to tell me that you don't. The chitema neilif mila. Let's learn that from Mila. Mila is like a Shabbos. Shabbos is karis. Mala Mila shkein nechrasu alaha shleis esrei brisleis. Mila has a very, 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 very strong essay. You know why? In the parsha of Mila, when Avram commands Avram in Parshas Lech Lecha, he says the word bris 13 times. So you know what? Maybe that's like a Shabbos because it has the unique aspect of the chumrah of that was karis bris 13 times. So therefore, mi Pesach. We'll learn that the Korban Pesach. You can't cook the Korban Pesach on Shabbos, guys. You can shecht it on Shabbos. It says Mala Pesach shekein karis. Pesach's unique, guys. It's a chi of karis. There's karis also by Mila, but not on day 8. It's later on if you don't do it throughout your life. So Pesach has an extra chumrah. Pesach is only one of 2 mitzvahs that have the karis with it. So maybe that's why Pesach's like a Shabbos. But a regular say that has neither creases of 13 brisos, or it's not a Chiyuv Karis, maybe it can't be Doicha. So right now I don't have a source. So it says Ella mi Tamid. I'll learn now from the Carbon Tamid. The Carbon Tamid was born on Shabbos, but I feel a bit Mayadoi. Mala Tamid Shekain Tadir. It's all the time. But a regular say that's not all the time, maybe not. In other words, each one of these things, Mila, Pesach, and Tamid, has a certain uniqueness that I can't learn from it. The uniqueness of bris Mila is it says 13 times in the Pras of bris. The uniqueness of Pesach is the Chiyuv Karis, and the uniqueness of Carbon Tamid is that it's Tadir all the time. It says, I can't learn out from one. So Tesi Mitarti, this limit of the Torah at Sarashava. If I can't learn out from one, I'll learn out from two. Right? This is the first Mishnah in Baba Kama. We learned this, we did this many times. Mahai Tesi, which two are you going to learn out from? Milu Pesach. You'll say just like Mila and Pesach are what? A Doicha Shabbos. So too, any mitzvah should be like a Shabbos. I say Mala Mila 13 brises, Pesach Tachiach. Mila Pesach, that what is Karis. Mila Tachiach. It's not true. 1 second, Shekain Karis. By Mila, it is Karis also. Down the line, if you don't do it, there's a din of Karis. So therefore, that's out. The Pesach v'Tamid. So let's learn it out from Pesach v'Tamid. Shekain you learn from Pesach v'Tamid. Mala Pesach, you say, is Nis the Karis. Tamid Tachiach. Mala Tamid, that's Tadir. Pesach Tachiach. It's had a Shavah Shabehen that it's not saying it's Doicha Lav. Who I did that word? Any mitzvah say is Doicha Lav that has Karis with it. Shekain Sarach Gavaya, you have a kasha. Both Pesach and Tamid have an aspect of Kadosh Baruch Hu. There's an aspect of Kachim, right? You're going to bring a murim on the Mizbeach. Mashen can a regular say not. So that can't be a source. Those two can't be a source for say Dochalosa say of Yesh Bakaris. So the Mila B'Tamid. Let's go Mila Tamid. Okay, very good. The carbon Mila, carbon Tamid. Everybody can say Mila is 13 brises. Tamid Yochiach. Tamid is Tader. So Mila Tachiach. Shekain Yeshnei Lefnei Adibor. They're all Lefnei Adibor. They're both Lefnei Adibor. Mila was by Avram Avinu. The carbon Tamid was brought in the midbar. Now we had a machlokes in Chagiga. It says the oila were brought before Matan Torah. The question was what? Davav, guys. We had this machlokes. He said that was machlokes Beishami Beisilo. Beishami said the oilus re'iyah. Beisilo said what? It's the carbon Tamid. You might draw your memory. Either way, therefore you can't learn out loud from Mila and Tamid because they're both before the Dibur. Umikula Nami, even from all of them, Shekain Yeshin Lefnei Dibur. The Carbon Pesach is also brought before the Dibur. So the bottom line is, right? Now you'll tell me Yibum was before the Dibur, guys. How was Yibum before the Dibur? Yehud and Tama. Guys, Geshmak Kasha. Yehud and Tama was also before the Dibur, right? And the answer is Yehud and Tama wasn't a mitzvah. No one told them to do it. It was like a Eina Mitzvah V'Oiseh. It was more like an understanding, but there was no mitzvah. Mila was a mitzvah, Tamid was a mitzvah, and Pesach was a mitzvah. They were all commands. El Itzrich, you need what? Ela Itzrich, Salka Iminon, Pesach Mikivit of. Ela Itzrich Aleha, guys. Ela Itzrich, I need Aleha to teach me what? To teach me that you can't be Magyabim b'Makom mitzvah. The Akas Isha b'Makom Yibum, it's not Doicha. Why would you think it's Doicha? Salka did Chamina Mitesa Mikivit of the aim. The Tanya. Yachol Yehei Kivit of aim Doicha Shabbos. I might think Kivit of aim is Doicha Shabbos. Tamalaymar Ish Imoy v'Aviv Tiroi v'Sheshoshi Tishmoiroi. Right? That Ish Imoy, a man, his mother and his father, he shall fear, and my Shabbos you should keep. Kulchem Chayav Mechvaydi. They're all mechuyev in my kavod. They're all mechuyev in my kavod. My love the amalei that the father told him shachali shech for me, bashali cook for me. The timer, the reason why what? The reason why it's not doicha is the kasar achman esher soiset ishmaro. Halav hachi loy. Halav hachi dachi. Stop, guys. Outside. And the pasuk says ish imoy vav tishoyes soiset ishmaro. It's mashma that without this pasuk, you'd listen to your father and be Machal Shabbos. So we see the lav, the mitzvah say of Kivud of Aim is Doicha the Lois say Shabbos. Of course, I needed a pasuk to tell me not. So therefore, by Yibum as well, the mitzvah of Yibum would be Doicha the Isser of Akas Isha, that I needed a pasuk Aleha to go ahead and tell me not. Notice I'm always getting back to it. I'm going because you get lost in I'm always going back to it. So the Gemara answers no. Kivud Avim is not speaking about. He's telling me to do a lav that has chorus. he's speaking about a lav of Shabbos that would carry only Malchus. The first line, loy, lav de mechamer, right? Right, it's speaking lav de mechamer. If your father tells you to go ahead and lead a donkey, leading a donkey on Shabbos is only a lav, and therefore you still don't listen. Mashenkin karis, I would not know. So right now we don't have a source. We're leaving it off at a source right now. We don't have a source for what that an asay should be doicha alos asay sheish b'karis, that I would need the word aleha to tell me not. So we're holding in the middle of a question. Bez Hashem will continue. Okay, get a good night's sleep, guys. You get an extra. You're losing an hour. In the morning, I don't know. I'll do my best to do tonight. We'll try to get it in the morning. Okay.
Sure.